You got it!
Veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to put the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to Playtime. We got your six. Now here's your host, Shad Turner of Veterans Unite Podcast and the People's Patriot Project. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Marked off one time. Good evening and welcome to our October 17th edition of We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. I am Mark Peterson with the People's Patriot Project, and we have got an amazing – I don't do as good as Shad Turner does. Shad Turner comes on. He's got that nice, amazing, sultry voice, and I'm trying to do engineer stuff in the background, and I'm having to do both right now, and Shad is out with his family at this time. We appreciate that and him and his family and the time they give him to do the People's Patriot Project. And we've got a lot of people lined up right now. Ryan Schultz, Brian Gibson, and again, we might have – it's Tammy because it does say Facebook user. We got a couple of people that are chiming in right now that are Facebook user. If you got a lot of hearts in your name, just give us a real quick hey – this is who's out here, and we will get you taken care of. Tammy, you are coming in as a Facebook user. Do I really have your 6? 100% if I know who you are. And if you have a relationship with us, we will have your 6 all the time. So let us know, and we will get you live on here with us. We have some amazing guests tonight. I do need to let you know I just had a little crash a minute ago, and I don't have any notes in front of me. But I do know who our guests are. We've got Brian Paul, and we have Ryan Helm to give us his craft, and we'll bring them both on here in a second. But every weekend, as we always start off our show, we give a little tribute or a big tribute or whatever tribute you want to call it to our amazing glory. The reason why we do what we do 99.9% of the time. So if you are capable, please stand, please remove your caps, and we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And greetings, everybody. The house is full tonight. Again, like I said, we've got Brian Paul and Ryan Helm, who are both going to be. We have an interviewee and a musician, like we do every weekend, and making sure we're taking care of all of our veterans, first responders, letting them know we bring boots on the ground organizations to highlight and make sure people know that we are here for them, and that we'll talk more about that here in a minute. Andrew, what do we got going on?
Hey, I have got, well, this is our big week, right? It's our big week. We are doing 2 big events, Friday and Saturday. And so I just wanted to remind everybody, responders are the individuals who respond to emergency situations. In order to provide assistance, we celebrate those police officers, paramedics, firefighters, and then the dispatchers and military healthcare workers, all healthcare workers, actually. They frequently face potential dangerous and even traumatic situations, and thus may be susceptible to a wide range of medical and mental health issues. The support of a mental health professional can help first responders address post-traumatic stress, anxiety, and depression, as well as any other challenges they may face. Likewise, veterans did sign up to serve. They signed up to serve all of us. We do have several days throughout the year that celebrate veterans, but we, the People's Patriot Project, we like to think about our veterans every day. As of 2019, 11.7 military veterans are over the age of 65. And that's about 61% of all veterans. That's 2 years ago. So that's as current as I could find. Veterans do account for about 11% of homeless adults. And there are many veterans, up to 50%, that struggle with mental issues due to their service and experiences, such as PTSD. So, having said all that, we want to throw out thank you. We're here for you. We're always listening and watching. And then on Friday, October 22nd, we have our Come Out of the Storm. It's so exciting. We're having, are we at 5 or 4 now, Peterson? There they are on the screen. We're having those musicians come to the Richard Dingle Post 98 in St. Paul Park, Minnesota. This is a fundraiser. We started this, you guys. This was just going to be celebrating, helping, supporting our musicians that were coming up. And as I was looking for a venue to have this happen, we met a friend of Officer Nickel, who Officer Nickel just recently lost his house in a fire. And due to insurance issues, not that he didn't have any, just how they play with what they'll cover and what they won't. We just want to help him get that house built without waiting for all of this mess to settle itself down. So that has now become just a gigantic fundraiser for our friend, Officer Nickel. The t-shirts, did you put the t-shirts up, Peterson? I didn't. Sorry, I'm reading off. We have t-shirts. So you guys, I think, I don't know, I have 4 or 5 people message me since Friday. We've got these t-shirts, which all the profit will go to Officer Nichols' fund. Short sleeve, they're $20. If you need them shipped, we'll add $5. And the long sleeves are $25. So it's Come Out of the Storm, and then it lists our musicians on the back. And then, so the lighthouse, this is our beacon of light, where we're always reaching out. That's our missions, reaching out to those who need us. And then the number 70 in there, that is Officer Nichols' badge number. So it's got some personal meaning in there, as well as they look pretty cool when you have them on. Wait, do you have your new models picture too, Peterson?
I don't know if I got that one up.
All right, if you find it.
I'm going to have to say no.
And we're waiting on t-shirts for the very next day, because I don't think Peterson and I know how to not do everything that we possibly can do as soon as we can do it. So on the 23rd, it is the first annual, and we're working with United Human Resources. They wanted to help us do a fundraiser. And so we're like, wow, a ruck can't be too difficult, because they don't necessarily know all the ins and outs of a military first responder support. So we're like, let's do a ruck. We'll do some fundraising. We'll have fun. Well, we added to our ruck. So we have a ruck, a 10-mile, up to 10-mile. It's in 2-mile increments, just a jaunt around a beautiful Jensen Lake in the Lebanon Hills area. And then, and it's like bridges and dirt, like tree roots run through it. So it's not necessarily a running path, and definitely not wheelchair friendly, but it is, it's beautiful. I'm just going to say it's beautiful. And then the chuck part, that's and we just got a couple more teams signed up, I think, for the beanbag tournament or cornhole tournament, whatever you guys call it. It's all the same. You toss bags at a board that has a hole in it, and you get some points against others usually, right? Sometimes for fun. Anyway, so we're signing teams up for that as well. And then we have this amazing 0.0 mile marathon. And man, you win just by showing up for that one. So you pay your little entry fee and you jump over the finish line. You win. Yay, everybody wins. Just you don't get a trophy, you get a sticker. And we're working on like some sort of a water or a beer or a Gatorade or something when you get done, because I'm sure you'll be exhausted. And so and then the roll is rock and roll. So our musicians will be joining us again the next day, along with the Jake Nelson Band, and on this Saturday event. And so super exciting. Like I said, it seemed pretty simple. And I bet I've lost a million hairs and grays showing up all over. And it is what it is, but it will be a fantastic family fun day. And you know what? Sunday, I think
Andrea, do you see?
What?
Go ahead. Keep saying.
I was just going to say, Sunday, I don't have a clue, because I'm going to put our musicians back on their airplanes, and then I'm going to probably go take a long, long nap. That's all I was going to say.
That's all good.
What did I see?
Did you see our last person who commented?
Yeah, from Axe Country. It's my friend Christina. She's busy. Hi, Christina.
So we were down in Georgia, was it 3 weeks now? And we were celebrating the birthday of a good friend of the founder of Feed the Heroes Foundation, Adam Jones, and he was conducting an event for Bobby Henline, Forging Forward. Look at that, name dropping. Boom, get to drop the names. And Christina Garza came into our network, an amazing young lady. She has a really fun business, and I'm going to do absolutely a terrible job promoting it. I know it's in Georgia. I know it's in a suburb of Atlanta, but I don't remember the town. It's not Round Rock, Texas. So
that's Texas, yeah.
Yeah, no. Andrea, you're supposed to save me in this time.
I can't. I don't. I can't. We were in the car with Matt driving. I have zero idea where I was. But Christina, if she's out there, will certainly.
Brian Paul and I were just talking about how we forget names and stuff, and so McDonough, Adam Jones is here, so he's saving us. He's saving us. Adam Jones of Feed the Hero Foundation. We were in McDonough, and we were throwing axes at each other. It was the coolest thing ever. That wasn't at each other, but I think he wanted to chuck one at his boss later because his boss started beating him. But Adam Jones was the victor in most occasions of the night. He's an axe tosser, and I like it. It's fun.
He's like a ringer in all events.
Have either of you gentlemen thrown axes before?
I have not. I have not.
Oh, there's some definite skill points too. So when you do it, all you want to do is get that axe to stick. Right away, you don't really care where, but then it goes thud and it hits the floor, and you're like, I did just what she told me to do. So then it's your turn again, and you go up there and thud, it hits the wall and it hits the floor, and you're like, well, I just did it again. And then it sticks, and you do the dance, and then it probably doesn't stick so well again. For it some people, it's just all in, you get it and then it works, and you don't have to kill it, like the home run derby. But
you got to do the dance, though, right?
Figure it out.
You got to do a victory dance when you get that to stick in there.
I didn't see Adam do the dance, so I don't think he did win. He didn't do the dance ever.
Oh, for real? Then he probably didn't win if there was no dance. But it was his birthday.
He did a lot of bragging. I know that. Yeah, I suppose. Birthday boys get to brag. Shannon Book in the house. We are going to see you in a week, Shannon.
Yeah,
because after we're done doing our two events, we're heading down to Round Rock, Texas with OP Vet and the OP Veteran Vet Fest, and we'll see a whole crew of people down there in Texas, and it's really fun, awesome, and amazing. because we're bringing two new guests on tonight, and we know that we have built within their network as well. And it's exciting. The growth, the relationships, and knowing that we are making a difference across the country. And so let's bring on Mr. Brian Paul real quick. I mean, he's on already, but and we're not flying through, but when we have Shad here, things are a little slower. Maybe I need to
good stuff.
find some kind of something that slows me down a little bit. Yeah. But Brian Paul, good to have you, brother. We have connected probably for 2 years now, on and off, watching you on Facebook, seeing your amazing mission with Veterans for Life USA, and watching you throw on football uniforms, watching you. Tell me what you do, brother. What's going on? What's Veterans for Life USA?
Yeah, man. First, thank you for having me on your show. I've seen your show a few times, like you mentioned, kind of over the years now. But my name is Brian Paul. I'm the president and founder of Veterans for Life USA. As we were talking before the show, I grew up here in Mustang, Oklahoma, riding three-wheelers and playing football, and very heavy in the Mustang United Methodist Church here, going to youth group, and so I went to college at OCU, and after my freshman year, me and a buddy were bored, and we threw around the idea of joining the military. And originally we were going to go join the Marine Corps, and we were heading out of the driveway and talked to a captain in the 45th Infantry. And so he convinced us that we should go and join the 45th Infantry. And so we did that, and went to, of course, Fort Benning multiple times, back for airborne school. And then shortly after I joined the 45th, we had the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. And so that was my deployment for about 2 weeks. Later got out of the military and moved up to Kansas City and became a firefighter EMT. I served as a firefighter for 6 years and EMT for 8 years in a very busy district. We answered about 7,000 calls a year. And so I took I began to take a wrong path with dealing with the stresses of the job. And so I began self-medicating with alcohol, where I turned into a full-blown addict. And, my drug of choice was alcohol, and became homeless and divorced, suicidal. And really through my faith in God and my upbringing, and my love for my mother and my son, Aiden, who was 11 years old at the time, was finally very, very much at the nick of time able to get into a treatment program called English Mountain Recovery. And that's where I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, thus the underlying issue of why all the boozing. And so 90 days later, I came out the other side, and I began to discover that there were a lot of other veterans and first responders like myself who were struggling with, basically the same types of issues. And so I've been helping the next one ever since. I founded Veterans for Life USA back in May of 2017. And since then, we've gotten 17 into one of our treatment programs called Transformations Treatment Center in South Florida. We've gotten another 10 into Camp Hope down in Houston, Texas. Another 10 into equine assisted therapy. And I also use a tool called the Veteran Navigator, and it's through the After Action Network, where I can get people connected to help wherever they live in the United States by simply plugging in their zip code and walking them through the very, very easy, simple process.
That's so awesome.
That is very cool. Go ahead.
And you work closely with another organization down that area with Kyle Early, correct?
Yeah, Kyle's local here in Oklahoma City. He's doing great things. I was blessed enough to be on his show, Battle on the Home Front TV. You know Kyle, yeah.
Yeah, and Brian Gibson just recently came down and checked you guys out. He's chatting away here. Got a lot of stuff here, and
Yeah.
getting ready to come up to Minnesota for ours. A great fob rush down in Illinois, and
Yeah.
it's just a great. I love every chance we do this, and it's like we're building a family that is one of the most supportive families I've ever ran into. And the fact that we're willing to accept each other for who we are. And it's every time we meet someone, it's adding another tool to our, we call it fishing lure to our fishing box, but it is a tool to our toolbox. In that it's always worked where if we ran into, and we actually have direct conversations with Brian, where there were individuals that were in need in Minnesota and actually one time Florida. And just because of everyone jumping on board and connecting resources, we're able to get someone literally on the side of a road on a highway in Florida for a young man that was struggling with some of his demons at the moment. And what an amazing gift and opportunity this has been. And so I'm so excited to have literally our first meeting, real face-to-face kind of conversation virtually. And I guarantee, Stutter, Mr. Peterson, I guarantee you we'll have a face-to-face and a pause-on-pause opportunity to meet each other at some point, because this is the way it's been working. And Andrea and I have been in the plane and on the road all summer trying to network everyone and get everyone together, and just hearing the missions and the story that everyone has been involved with, and the amazing things we're all doing.
Yeah, I think the more people that center on helping that struggling individual and their family versus versus supporting just their organization, it's easy to make a much bigger impact. And our motto with Veterans for Life USA is stronger together, and that applies in so many different angles, from organization helping organization helping individual or the family. And for me, honestly, it makes it a whole lot more fun, going to
it really does. I'm super selfish, man. This has been a blast, and it breaks my heart that we've got brothers and sisters that are out there struggling. But it has been absolutely awesome to see. And the truth of it is, I mean, I do see a bunch of leaders coming together and working together as leaders, but we all have our own struggles as well. And I've been able to have conversations on the side, not publicly, with some of these leaders about, when and where their struggles happen and fall in place. And it's like we build each other up and we keep moving forward. And again, so excited to be part of what you're doing with Veterans for Life USA, and just having you on the show and having this conversation. We're not done with you. We want to hear more, but I would like to bring Ryan Helm on. He said we were talking pre-show, and he's going to sing about your home state here in a second, I guess.
Yeah, I got
Ryan,
Oklahoma.
good to have you, brother.
I love Oklahoma. I'm glad I'm on the show with Brian. So appreciate that.
Yeah, good talking a little early.
I will visit Mustang, I guarantee you.
Yeah, well, you're definitely welcome. We'd love to have you.
It'd be great.
Yeah, tell us about your service, who you are, what you've been doing, what you want to do, and ultimately, let's hear your music.
Yeah, we'll do that too. So I joined the Marine Corps out of high school, and from a small town in Illinois, and did that for 20 years. It was fast 20 years. Met my wife and retired in 2017. Had a daughter a week later, and been taking care of her ever since. And you kind of go from being up there in the Marine Corps, and then the next day you're taking orders from a 2-week-old. So that's what I've been doing ever since, and playing guitar trying to write songs. And, you know, I really don't know what my goal is other than I like playing music. And there's a group of fellows down there in Oklahoma, matter of fact, that I pretty tight with, write songs together and play with and different things. So, you know, just living each day, trying to raise a good citizen. Got another one on the way here in about 6 weeks, I guess it is. So got some more job security. I think,
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hoofda.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
a
every day's
big-
fun for me. You know, I'm blessed like I can't even believe.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But so yeah, so I don't know. Do you want me to play a song?
Yeah. Yep. If you are ready.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do a song. This one, I've always really been obsessed with songwriters and like John Prines and Guy Clark and different people. And finally, my wife said, you know, you listen to all these guys from Texas and Oklahoma, and you're always learning their songs. Maybe you should start writing your own and maybe write one about Montana, since that's where I'm from. And so I wrote her a song about Montana, and all the places and things and references in the song are, you know, of course, places and things we do in Montana. And I think the only thing that's not true maybe is I mentioned ice fishing, and I'm not real big on being cold, but anyhow, I had to throw Texas in there just as a barb to her. But anyway, this song's called Montana Love Song. We moved to Texas, it might be home, but there's a big sky place we love to go, where the cows roam free and ranchers king. Poets, the cowboys sing. We got Yellowstone and Glacier Peak, the eagles flying over moose, drinking from creeks. There's a cowpoke riding down Fifth and Main, like an old time picture going frame by frame. I'll take you there if you want to. I'll take you there if you want to go. Montana, you'll always be my home. We're the roughnecks are drinking and looking to fight. I'll take you to the moon and we'll dance all night. It's just another day here in paradise. Take you ice fishing, won't that be nice? I'll take you there if you want me. I'll take you there if you want to go. Montana, you'll always be my home. Yeah, we'll hunt the bob in the early fall. Catch some fish when the elk don't call. I'll take you up camping on Old Lake 5, do some skinny dipping, make you feel alive. We'll pick huckleberries till our skin turns blue, like a honeymoon for me and you. I'll take you there if you want to. I'll take you there if you want to go. Montana, you'll always be my home. Montana, you'll always be my home. Montana, great place. How was the sound? Everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
good.
perfect.
Yep.
I get to live vicariously through that song a little bit. We talked pre-show about a couple days ago, and I was born in Montana, and it gives me a little bit of a remember Montana, and your family is up in the Kalispell area, and so give a big shout out to all those people out there in Montana, and most of my family's down in the Cody, Wyoming area now, but also a shout out to all those folks out there. You got people saying it sounded great. Greetings from Tennessee.
Yeah,
we got Michael Ledford here.
Those are all the people I paid before we came on.
Those are
Someone says still too cold for me.
so that's Brian
Figure that
Gibson.
out still.
That's Brian Gibson. Still too cold for him.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, as you mentioned,
Awesome.
Brian, we had a.
How long you been playing, Ryan?
Let's see. I guess it's been about 20 years. After my first enlistment, I was getting ready to get out and move back to Illinois. And the fella, that keeps you in was a friend of mine, and he kept pestering me about it, And so I told him, I said, I'll re-enlist if you can send me to Portland, Oregon. And at that time in my life, I didn't think there were Marines within 1,000 miles of Portland, Oregon. And about a week later, he came back and said, I got your orders to recruiting station Portland. And I thought, well, daggone, I guess I'm re-enlisting. And so I did. And then when I got to Portland, I had some family there. And my best buddies were my cousins that were about, 6, 7 years old, and they have bedtime. And so, it's like 8:30. What do I do with myself? And so I went and bought a cheap guitar and started learning how to play. And so I guess it's been about 20 years now. So
Awesome.
you might not know it,
Brian,
from my
I
playing.
believe. Yeah, it sounded great, man. It sounded great. Brian, I might have some connection issues on my end, so that was completely my fault. I apparently interrupted you. You were talking about maybe Brian Gibson and that relationship?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to interrupt Ryan, so it sounded great, Ryan. I appreciate it. That was good stuff, man. It made me want to go to Montana.
I'm telling you, if you've never been, you need to go.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark. We had an event this past September 11th, just over a month ago, and Brian had contacted me and said, "Hey, man, I'd like to come out to your event." And I said, we're in Oklahoma. You're in Kentucky, right?" Yeah. I said, "How far is that?" He said, "About 800 miles. Don't worry about it." All right, man. So we were able to chat. He had a hotel room there right near where we were having an event, and he was able to share everything that's going on with the Die Hard project and Project Die Hard. And he has put in a whole lot of work there in Paducah, and very inspiring. But yeah, it's a big shout out to Brian Gibson and all of his efforts. It's amazing, because when you think about so many people support our mission, but so few of them actually are doers versus, hey, what I call, cheer others on, very, very special, on Brian's part.
He's been, he knows this, and we've had this conversation. He won't have a problem with me sharing any of this, and he understands what an amazing gift he has received. And the guy is working his tail off to accommodate that amazing gift. And again, people from across the country are giving shout outs to Brian, Adam Jones down in Georgia, and there's many more that will bona fide say the guy's doing what needs to be done. And it's a great point you bring up, Brian. There's a lot of amazing people doing amazing things, and there's a lot of people, and we'll never call anyone out. Thank you, everyone, for the amazing gifts that you give to these organizations that have boots on the ground. And it is, excuse me, I had a little burpee burp there. It is it's tough, because there are so many people that are gifted in so many ways, and they just take for granted the fact that they have the liberties and the freedoms and the opportunities that they have. I've never heard anyone hesitate or see anyone hesitate to dial 911 when they need help. I know we have a lot of people that lay their heads down on what I call the pillows of freedom every single day, knowing that no one should be coming through their back doors. And that's all bought and paid for by the people that put on the uniform. And that uniform comes in many shapes, sizes, colors. And Andrea said earlier at the beginning, these are people that made a decision to put that uniform on. We totally get that piece. We've got people running into burning buildings and people running away from burning buildings. And again, it's not for everyone. We totally get it. Being on the side, and it's also great hearing that you were a first responder as well, Brian. There's things that I've seen and have been involved in and done because of my service with the fire department, law enforcement, and as an active military enlistee. There's things I didn't plan for, and again, I'll be the first one to tell you the overall blanket is I loved every part of the experience. I loved being able to serve. I love it's selfish. Like a lot of times when people say, when you're in an active group and they say, will all of our service members please stand? A lot of times I don't stand, and for the exact reason that I don't need that recognition necessarily, because it was for me. I did it. I did it for me. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I would do it again if I had the chance to. And I don't need that recognition, but at the same time, we have some brothers and sisters that just need help. And they need help because of the after effects of their service. And some of them are very strong enough to say prior to their service, and we've had this conversation as well, prior to their service, they had traumas that exponentially grew because of their service. And I love those people that can share those stories and share that and are willing to help themselves. And that is why Brian Paul is here. That is why Mark Peterson is here. That is why Andrea is here. Ryan is here to play his music. And I know because he's got a serving heart, that's kind of where he sits. But all these other organizations we've even dropped tonight, Feed the Heroes Foundation, Kyle Early's work, Brian Gibson's work. And I can read off and list off another 180 organizations in this country that want to help those people. We got a guy down in Texas last week, our show. We got a guy down in Texas who is giving free mobile homes to veterans so they don't have to be homeless. He's not a veteran and or a first responder, and his heart's broken because he's not allowed to be in veteran groups. And I'm like, dude, you're always welcome to be with us. You are serving your country. You're doing more than 90% of the rest of the country is doing. I kind of feel like I'm on a tangent right now, but it ends up being our story. And thank you, both of you, for coming on to the show. I mean, we're a little over halfway and we still got plenty to talk about, but thank you for everything you do and allowing us to showcase these pieces so that we can let the rest of the world know that we are coming. We're here. We will provide the services that need to be provided to accommodate those who have served. And so, again, thank you. Please feel free to jump on my tangent and add or delete or subtract and do whatever. Edit, amend, all the above.
I like to. So we're all in a fight. Ultimately, it's trying to cut into that veteran and first responder suicide rate. And so, I go around, different parts of the country, and I'm blessed to actually get paid to talk. Which if you would have asked me, if you would have said that back 6 years ago, I was struggling with addiction, I would think that's absolutely crazy. Who even wants to hear me talk? So one of the things that I ask people, I ask the audience is, raise your hand if you have a friend or a loved one, someone that that has ended their own life. And I recently spoke at a VFW here in Oklahoma City, and it was almost everyone. It was probably 90% of the room, and there were 40 people there. And then I said, okay, keep your hands up if that came at a total surprise to you, and those that knew this person who ended their life. And at least in this audience, nearly every hand stayed up. So what I like to tell people is the most effective thing we can do, whether we lead a nonprofit, we've served in the military, we've never served in the military, and we just want to help, is that the more we remove the shame and guilt and that embarrassment of opening up and letting someone know that you need help, and replacing that with hope, inspiration, and understanding, the more we get people to open up, the more we can get them into help and get them connected to, like you mentioned, a whole lot of great organizations and great people around the whole country. So it's just removing that embarrassment. And I think the best way to do that is what I know, a lot of us, I think, are doing. And that's just making ourselves vulnerable, sharing our own struggles in life and how we are able to overcome those. And I think that's where we're going to make the impact.
Agreed. And that's actually when we were talking earlier, when we started out on our Friday night happy hour, it was really just for us to get together. And as we were meeting and reaching out to invite others to come in, that's when we decided we should go live with this, is because we were hearing amazing stories, but it was only in our little group. And to put it live and then finally into a podcast so that we could reach those people. And they've come forward and they've reached out. And there are some nights you'll see one of us disappear in conversation. And that's because it hit somebody between 6 and 7 Central Time as they were watching and hearing the message of a person on our show. And then the backstage stories, oh my gosh, we've from Vietnam veterans all the way through to the most recent, just the stories and the resounding, well, you can feel the trauma that comes with the experiences. And it just is something that they don't want to share with the world by any means, but in the right environment, just letting the stories out sometimes is the big first step. And then it can go from there. So I just thank you for being on. That's exactly what we've had tears, the songs. And let me just, Ryan, and thank you to you, because music is one of our therapies. Definitely, music reaches everybody in some way, shape, or form. And that's how we started inviting musicians to come on as well. It's great to have a musician on the show, but the message and the feels and the reach that the music has is amazing as well. So that's how we try to get our message out there. And that's why we are here every Sunday night, regardless. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. I think...
Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay, so sorry about that. I guess I should mention Greater Veterans here in Spokane, run by Nick Richardson. He's just got a heart of gold, and probably if it weren't for him, I wouldn't even be on this podcast right now. So just because he's like the, I don't know, he's certainly a cheerleader, just a great guy. And I owe a lot to him for, just being somebody that believes in me, in terms of music and whatnot. So, and he'll give you the shirt off his back, so Greater Veterans Spokane, great folks, great mission.
Hey, Ryan, believe it or not, I was just in Spokane.
No kidding.
Well, I say just a few months back. I was at the Northern Hotel, and I didn't get. I was there presenting for Transformations Treatment Center, so I didn't get a chance to leave the hotel, but I could see the mountains outside the window.
Oh yeah,
It's cool, but Spokane's great.
Yeah, you'll have to make your way back to the Northwest.
Yeah.
It's awesome that you bring up Nick's name and the fact that anytime that I've ever needed, and we've talked and needed resources and just wanted to collaborate about the business and the organization and stuff, I've reached out to Nick, and he is more than willing to have the conversation and grow and build and work together. And another great organization, Greater Veterans out there in Washington. And again, not to cast any shadow over anyone else that's on here, but I mean, we get to drop names all day long, and it's important for us to do that. We've said it from the very beginning. I can tell you right now, over Brian Gibson's Will Hub, he's got the names and stickers of many organizations, and says working together is the mission, and it has been an awesome opportunity to do that. And again, I'm so very excited that we've actually had this opportunity to get together. And again, if anyone's interested in being part of the post show, that's where we kind of get nitty gritty and dirty and say, how are we going to work together, and how can we build this to be a bigger piece? And you're welcome to be part of that conversation. This is everything that we do with the People's Patriot Project is a collaboration. That's why I'm willing. And some people come to me and vocally say, you're letting these other organizations take away your funding. I'm like, no, I'm not. And I don't care. It is putting another lure in the tackle box so we can catch another fish, fish that I don't have the bandwidth to catch or the resources to catch, and vice versa. I can call, I'm assuming, I can call Brian Paul and say, hey, I've got something stirring around down in Oklahoma. What do you got going on down there? Can you lend a hand? And I never want to make a guarantee and make bold statements, but I've not missed out on those statements yet. So I haven't heard anyone say, what the hell, go away, we're too busy. So no one's been too busy. They want to help, they want to be involved. And look who just, speaking of the devil,
in the house.
You must have heard us talking about him.
Hey.
The man, the myth, the legend comes into the room, and
love it.
And we're here. It's good to see
you. He was actually on the show. Gosh, it's been a year probably. He was actually on the show and shared some things, and he is a great person. We're lucky to have met him because it's collaboration. That's kind of become our banner word is collaboration. And so we're welcoming groups all the time and meeting new people that not solely, we do meet those that are like, no, we're good. We're going to be us, and then of course those bigger groups that don't need the little ones like us interfering in their worlds. And someday maybe they too will decide that, gosh, if these little guys out here are catching some of those that are falling through the cracks, maybe the big ones would do well to collaborate as well and share some of their resources. So we'll get there.
We haven't sealed the deal. We haven't sealed the deal with Nick Richardson, but we're going to seal the deal. When we get there, you get to put the pause. Put the pause.
Yes.
The deal's not settled till you get to feel the pause. And it'll happen. It'll happen. I promise.
Hey,
Adam.
To Nick, I've seen he's on my Facebook page, and I've been following him a little bit too, and he's doing some really good things too. So big shout out to Nick.
Heck yes.
Absolutely.
Heck yes. So that's awesome.
Brian,
yeah.
You got another one for us?
Yeah, so I'll play my Oklahoma song. It's kind of funny. This one came about because I was just gotten back, I think, from New Year's down there this past January. And there was like a lot of different conversations I was having, or it was like, 6 degrees of separation of how I knew different people, and they were all from Oklahoma. And as the wife and I were talking about moving, I said, geez, all the roads seem to lead to Oklahoma. And so then I started writing this song, and I started thinking about people. And I was reading The Grapes of Wrath at the time, so I thought that'd be like a good character, and it kind of made me think about how people left Oklahoma for California, and now people are leaving California probably for Oklahoma. So there was that. And then an English professor of mine from Oklahoma lives down in Norman, so I wrote a verse about him. And then a couple music heroes of mine that are from there, Mike McClure, Tom Skinner. So I just kind of took all these people and tried writing a song about it. So here we go. All roads lead back to Oklahoma. We stared into the sunset, sitting on the back porch stairs. Daddy sharpened in his knife while rocking in his chair. The number 9 comes through at 6 a.m. and I ain't looking back. Going to California, to hell with these grapes of wrath. Fairly well to the red dirt plain, as far as I can see. Mother's eyes are full of tears when Daddy said to me, he said a fool and his money are soon to part, and hard times they never last. Idle hands are the devil's tools, never forget your past. Strong people are hard to kill, don't forget the words I told you. And all the roads lead back home to Oklahoma. He's an Okie through and through, has Washita in his veins. Thought about going home nearly every single day. He spent a spell catching fish in Bristol Bay, hunted elk in Idaho. Sailed through the 7 seas, played music in Provo. He spent most of his lifetime trying to fill Hemingway's shoes. All around the world with the Oklahoma blues. You can run with the bulls and pamper along, drink wine in Paris, France. Say a prayer over Angel Falls. Don't be afraid of chance. Don't let the day slip away. Drink a Jack with a splash of cola. And all the roads lead back home to Oklahoma. Well, he taught me about use of these and the Skyline radio. Inspired everyone he met and those he didn't know. He liked fishing with Jesus and drinking from his favorite cup. Had faith like a blind man and he never would give up. He was the light of the world, even sang the C'est La Vie. Gonna write a masterpiece so you'll remember me. If your grass ain't greener, water your own yard, and that you can be sure. He didn't trust so much with ashes and dust. He wrote that with McClure. Man, he loves that game, and a little rain will do ya. And all the roads led back home to Oklahoma. Yeah, all good roads lead back home to Oklahoma. My tribute to all my Okie friends out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we love Oklahoma.
Everyone gets back. Everyone gets back to Oklahoma eventually.
That's all goes
awesome.
back there. Yeah.
That was a very good song. That was a very, you could put, I mean, Iowa in there or, Montana, but I like Oklahoma.
No, you
I like
can't.
Oklahoma. Yeah, you can.
I realized I got a lot of songs that are about someplace, My next song's called Austin. So I just continue with my geographic,
Awesome.
tour of the United States for you guys.
That's a good theme to go with. That'd be way cool. I'll go do the research if you need me to. I like to travel.
Yeah, me too, huh?
Brian Paul, how do we get hold of you?
We're currently this website time is not good. So if you look up heroesinuniform.org, you'll get blank or something under construction or something. But people can get a hold of me at, of course, hit me up on Messenger anytime. And also our Facebook page is Veterans for Life USA. We also have Friends of Veterans for Life page, and that's what for our friends and partners that are hosting events and current affairs and such. And I was going to suggest you guys more than welcome. Please post your flyers on our Friends of Veterans for Life page, and it gets a pretty good amount of traffic. Or people can simply email me at veteransforlifeusa@gmail.com, and that's 4 with the number 4.
Posted.
Awesome.
Get a hold of me. Get a hold of me anytime. My line's always. Of course, I'd prefer 3:00 in the afternoon versus 3:00 a.m. But call me anytime.
But I also know that you will sit and listen to someone's conversation at 3 a.m. rather than hear about their bit in the morning, and that's the same piece. Is we're all here. We are ready to be part of the mission. We will help. Someone earlier, and their name never really came up, but they asked, "Do you really have my 6?" Yes, we really do have your 6 if you served. Yeah. And to be honest with you, if you were a blind squirrel not finding a nut and you called our line at any time, it wouldn't matter if you served or not. We would extend every opportunity to help you and give you the resources you need. We don't do references. We call direct, and we make sure that you are in the queue and that you have a conversation with the next person in line. And we don't give you a phone number. We don't give you an email. We don't. If you're in Oklahoma and you haven't stumbled on Brian Paul and you happen to call or get involved in our network, I call Brian Paul on the spot, and we make sure you have a voice-to-voice connection. That's what we do.
Awesome.
We do not. We believe that when a person in crisis is reaching out to us, that they need the one-stop shop opportunity. They need to know an answer or have a solution for the moment, and that's why we do it that way. And so, again, thanks, Brian, for being on. Ryan, where can we hear your music, brother?
You know what? You just got to be lucky and see me somewhere, because I'm not real, big on technology. And although I need to be, and, my Facebook has got like a different name than what I am, so it's probably not the best way to have somebody find me or hear me, but, hopefully I get better at that. And when I do, I'll let you know. Yeah.
Perfect. Maybe we can't get you for this next week's set of events, but maybe 6 months down the road, we'd be ready to throw off another one that we'd love to have you be part of. And
that'd be great.
We make sure it's experience. We make sure it's an opportunity to recalibrate. That's what we do. We put together events and moments that recalibrate the dark and the ugly stuff, and help you realize there are brothers and sisters all over this country that have and will continue to deal with the same issues, concerns, demons that you're dealing with. And we try to make this a one-stop shop opportunity. We've got people come on and talk about hallucinogenic medicines with licensed shaman. It's not for me, but it doesn't matter. It's for somebody. We have Luna Murda come on, who is an absolute screamer band, and not my style of music, but I know that there's people that listen to it, so we bring them on, and we have a relationship with them, and it's again, we will, if that's the stuff you listen to, that's the stuff you listen to, man. That's I ask my students every day, what's your media? What are you putting in your brain? And we got to figure out those pieces and make sure that message is a positive message, and we will continue with that mission as well. Come check us out, see who we are, see what we do. We are the beacon of hope and opportunity. It's kind of weird. Can you guys see that green light up over my head? It's like it's my halo.
Yeah,
that is kind of weird. Where'd that come from?
It's a green glowing, right? I know. It's It's I got a new toy, and it's the crest, but I need to get a brighter light, and we'll continue to let that beacon shine, put her up in the sky for people to see, and maybe that might be something about a graphene dome we've been talking about. We'll share the
We could
graphene
do
dome
that.
with you guys here in a second.
Hey, will you also pop the T-shirt up just one last time so that we can just call out,
Absolutely.
guys? That I just know that we had a lot of people asking, and then the website was down. And so, if you're out there now and you were looking for one of these shirts, this is for our fundraiser Friday night. The Come Out of the Storm has our veteran musicians listed on the back, and then of course, Officer Nichols badge number. $20 short sleeve, 25 long sleeve, $5 for shipping. Just get a hold of us, message one of us, and we'll get your shirt sent out to you. They're very cool. They're comfy, they're soft, and the green on black looks pretty cool.
It does.
Thank you. That's all I had extra. And
thanks for
play
joining us,
cornhole.
gentlemen. Okay.
Yeah, and play cornhole.
Thanks for coming on, gentlemen. And you'll be able to see this show streaming on Facebook. It's already there. It'll be saved there. Also, you'll get to hear the podcast on Heroes Media Group. Thank you, listener, and thank you. We don't get to do this without you guys, and so we appreciate all those that have come on and commented and been part of the show. Thank you. Come check us out. If you don't get to be here for our events, check us out on every weekend. We got your 66 Patriot Playtime, and go see what Brian Paul is doing. We'll figure out a way to get Ryan's music out there for everyone to hear. And again, thank you for everyone for being part of this amazing mission. Patriot Pride.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it too.
For sure.